Good evening, y'all, and welcome to this week's edition of The Classroom. Tonight, just featuring me. Miss O'Malley is out, a little tired this evening, and Mr. Suave is on his natural off week. So it will just be me this evening. You got any comments, go on ahead and leave them in the comment section. I will respond as best I can. All right, so let's start out this week as we always do, even though there is no co-host to answer the question and I already know the answers. I'll pit it to the viewers to answer the sports quiz question of the segment. And that is, during the 2002-2003 NBA season, which player became the first since Michael Jordan to lead the league in scoring and win MVP in the same year? I'll let y'all marinate on that while we get to talking about some other things, like the NFL Week 10, which saw a lot of what I consider upsets. Why? Because I do the weekly picks with ESPN, and at this point in the night, I am 6-6 and do not like that. But I'm winning some fantasy matchups, so there's always a positive to it. We'll open up with we'll talk about a few key games here in the first half of the show from the NFL, and take a look at how these upsets are going to affect the overall landscape. We'll see. All right, so there we go. All right, so we open up with the butt whooping that took place at Levi's Stadium by the now 7-2 Rams, beating down the injured and hapless 49ers 42-26 in LA. They jumped out to a 21-0 lead before San Francisco could even really get things moving, getting on the board. That defense needs help, and it's not coming. Fred Warner and Nick Bosa are both out for the season. So what we have is what we have. I think Bryce Huff came back this game, and they got a couple of other ones, like short-term injury guys that are going to be coming back, but nobody that's. Why didn't y'all trade for like a Jalen Phillips or something like that? But it's okay. It's okay. 6-4 ain't that bad. It'll be sitting at third in the division with Seattle and Arizona, Seattle and LA facing each other next week for the division lead, with both at 7-2. I'm just, if the Niners were healthy. No offense to Mac Jones. Mac Jones played his ass off, throwing for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did throw technically 2 interceptions, but was only credited for 1. It was the fact that they couldn't stop Kyron Williams or Matt Stafford, even though George Kittle did lead all receivers with 9 catches and 84 yards and a touchdown. It was the Rams that threw it all over the place. Puka Nacua, friggin' Devontae Adams, those tight ends out there in LA just, yeah. The Rams were the better team coming into this game, and they proved it when they got on the field. San Francisco is just so beat up and injured right now. Like, they were lucky to even be in that. They had pulled it within one score at one point, but yeah. I won't say anymore. In a surprise victory based off of record, the Baltimore Ravens got a victory over the Minnesota Vikings, 27-19. I believe it was in Minnesota. Baltimore's got back Lamar Jackson, and looks like they are ready to start making a push towards the top of that division. At 4-5, they're not that, depending on what happens with the Steelers tonight, they're not that far behind. They're maybe only a game or so behind the Steelers if the Steelers lose tonight. And yeah, Baltimore could make that run. Like, they're 4-5 now. Like I said, they got back Lamar Jackson after not having him for a game. Derrick Henry hopefully will get better before the season's over. We'll see how that one plays out. But in general, the Ravens look like a team that could surprise people. Their defense isn't the defense of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. Like, it's not them boys. But it is a team that is fairly good and could make a push. I don't think that they're better than Pittsburgh with Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not a football expert either. Let's see. All right, so the next up was the game. This was the game that I wanted to see the most. It was between two of the top teams in the AFC and the NFC, and this was going to be one of those games that was going to prove whether or not Drake May and the Patriots were legit. And to me, I think they proved exactly that they are legit. That Drake May and the Patriots are a team to look out for coming this postseason. They're 8-2, with Buffalo's surprising loss to Miami today. Like, New England could run away with this division for the first time since Brady and them boys was around. Um, it, Mike Vrabel, hats off to you, man. Like I said, you got Drake May and them out there looking like Tom Brady and the boys on offense and on defense, because in this game, Baker Mayfield struggled, and I mean struggled to look good. He finished the game with 273 and 3 touchdowns. But the Patriots, Henderson, the rookie Henderson, went for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. That boy bad, as Harry Douglas would say on ESPN. Like, that boy definitely bad. The young receiver, Igubika, went 6 for 115 and a touchdown. I believe he scored the first touchdown of the game. Had the Bucks looking good early, and New England just slowly puttered and let their defense do its work. And by the time we got to the end, what was the final result? New England would get another victory. They're 5-0 on the road. This is a good team, y'all. Young and good is always dangerous. I don't see this as being a potential dynasty like the Brady years were, but I could see this being a run where the Patriots are in the mix in the playoffs for the next 5-10 years. Drake May has like an Andrew Luck type career where he gets them at least to the conference championship within the next 4 or 5 years, as long as they continue to build around him. Also, the benefits of having your quarterback play well and be playing on a rookie contract. You can put a team around him. Stephon Diggs ain't no joke. Hunter Henry ain't no joke. This kid Stevenson, this running back, ain't no joke. The defense is a bunch of no names, which is what it was. That's the thing about it. Getting back to the Brady days, is that the thing that made them so awesome, so to speak, was just the fact that it wasn't like they had a bunch of all-stars. Like they weren't like the Lakers right now, or the Yankees, or the Dodgers of football. Like they drafted well. They had a bunch of players. Some you may know their names, some you may not. And they took a lot of players who were towards the end of their career and revitalized them into new players. But I don't think that's what's going on here. This is a young team that if New England is just willing to pay the money necessary and work the cap, pay the money necessary to keep them all together, they can make a run, maybe win one Super Bowl out of the next 6 years or so. Maybe at least get to one. Maybe not win, but at least get to one. So, all right. And then in another interesting game from this morning, I believe it was in the 10 o'clock window, you had Chicago Bears and New York Giants facing off. And the Giants gave Chicago a run for their money, up 20 to, I believe, 17 at one point. Caleb Williams had to drive Chicago down and run the ball in himself to get them the victory. But the Bears now sit at 6-3. Talk about turning it around, man. They went and got that Coach Johnson from Detroit, brought him in. He's doing his thing. Gave him a young quarterback. He's doing his thing. The Chicago offense is something to be feared, whether you want to admit it or not. I don't know if they're winning the NFC South, I believe it is them. Green Bay, yeah, because Green Bay is currently sitting on top. Let me take a look at the standing real quick. Yeah, the NFC, North, with the Packers leading, and then you got the Bears and the Lions right behind them at 6-3. Packers leading with 5-2-1. They got their big matchup against the Eagles tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. I don't know who I'm rooting for. Don't like the Eagles. Really don't like the Packers. Both are in our conference. Can they both lose? No, I know that's not possible. But I think that Chicago is going to surprise some people later in this season and showing the entire NFL that Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, and that kid Magabuga, I forgot. I'm sorry, I might have completely screwed up his name, but yeah, that kid, the young kid, number 25 for Chicago, that trio, along with Mooney and them boys out there catching the ball. I think Chicago's going to be dangerous, and I think they proved it. Jackson Dart, New York may have their quarterback of the future. He keeps that up. They may just have their quarterback of the future because my boy out there playing. I believe he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had the 2 touchdowns that New York had in the game. And it's just another good week. They lost to the 49ers. It was the same thing, but Jackson Dart didn't play bad. And I definitely think that they are all going to be making the NFL very interesting in the coming years. So, all right, last up, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers who are playing tonight. Right now, the Chargers are down 3-2. Don't know how. Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem to be playing well, which is not going to bid well for me in my fantasy game. I don't know why I took him. It was just because. But I believe Steelers will end up pulling this out and still sit on top of the AFC North. But who knows, man? The Steelers are an enigma right now. Sometimes they come out looking like gangbusters, like some of the best that the NFL has to offer, and then other times they come out looking like a high school team on a bad Sunday after the lunch lady gave the team poison. Like, it just all depends. Like last week, 6 turnovers they forced. Fantasy points wise, they had 29 fantasy points. Like, you're kidding me, right? You messing with me, right? And I had them up as on the bench in favor of San Francisco, who was playing the Giants. All right, so on that note, we're going to go ahead and pause. Let's do the question one more time, and then I'll give you the answer. During the 2002-2003 season, which NBA player became the first since Michael Jordan to lead the league in scoring and win MVP in the same year? The answer, it's a trick question. That's right. Tim Duncan won the MVP, but Tracy McGrady led the league in scoring. It was a trick question. No one actually did both that year. The last before was Shaquille O'Neal in 1999-2000. So there you go. Trick question thrown at you from day one. No. We're going to come back after this break and talk a little bit of basketball, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, etc. And maybe get to some of the other top stories in the sports world this week. I am Dark Lord 100, and you are listening to or watching The Classroom, presented to you by First GenXers and the Double KK Double Network. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beats. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and
get up in my zone, I'm clowning.
Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving it. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out, get your Xbox out, get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
Can see before you. That's all. Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come.
You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely.
Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode button, push it, make it do something. No balls for me, cause I'm a loose cannon. I get to choose camera, switch it up, look up a new banner. Keep smoking on that banner.
They say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the definition of beauty is distorted. Yeah. Come on. Searching for yourself, so insecure about the way you look, so you go to Miami. You can't find the love within yourself.
There we go. Sorry about that. Hope you guys enjoyed that little promo there from promo block from First GenXers and the Collective and the Double KK Double Network, advertising all the shows that come on. You got like the Cheap Pop Podcast, which aired earlier from 2 to 4 every Sunday with myself, Agent K28, aka The Saint, and Rune Scryer, who was out this week. It should be back by next week. And also this show, which normally features O'Malley, Swab, me and O'Malley, me and Swab, or me, O'Malley, and Swab, but this week it's just me. We are going to jump directly into this week in the NBA. We had a couple of games from the Emirates Cup that popped up, and the Warriors got smoked in Denver like 129-109. But Steph's been out with the flu, I guess, for the past couple of weeks, so I don't really expect too much from them. But we'll get more to that in just a moment. Next, let's look at the sports quiz question for the block Answer it in the comment section if you know. In the 2006 NBA Finals, Dwayne Wade averaged 34.7 points per game. Who was the only other Miami Heat player to average double digits or double figures in that series? All right. So we'll get to some week 3 stories. See, Trae Young will be reevaluated in 4 weeks for what is believed to be a knee injury, a sprained knee. Donovan Mitchell made his return to the lineup on November 7th after dealing with a hamstring injury. Had a pretty good game. The Celtics, let's see. The Athletic reported that teams are now actively strategizing to guard Victor while forcing him to adapt his game. I believe the young guy will. I believe he's going to prove to us that he's one of. I don't know if he's going to win a bunch of chips. That depends on the team that they put around him. But I know that he's going to prove to us that all the hype, the number 1 pick, all of that was worth it. And Victor Wembanyama is a beast, especially as at how tall he is, 7 foot plus. Let's see. The in-season tournament returned to its group play this week. Let's see. Former NBA player Damon Jones pleaded not guilty to selling injury secrets and profiting from rigged poker games. I was telling y'all we were talking about that a couple weeks ago, that the dude was said to have been giving out injury information on LeBron James when he was coaching a team led by LeBron James, and like to bettors to help them better choose when to bet on the Cavs and against the Cavs, so to speak. I believe it was on the Cavs. Let's see. Oh. There we go. All right, yeah, 129 or 104. Currently in the standings, the Timberwolves are leading their group at 1-1, tied with the Thunder and the Suns. Group B is being led by the Lakers at 1-1, tied with the Clippers. 1-0, 1-0. Sorry, I'm saying 1-1. Reading the thing wrong. 1-0 Timberwolves, Thunder, and Suns. Kings are 0-1. Jazz are 0-2. That's Group A. Group B is 1-0 Lakers, 1-0 Clippers, 1-1 Grizzlies, 0-1 Pelicans, 0-1 Mavericks. Poor Klay Thompson. Spurs and Trailblazers are 1-0 in the Group C. The Nuggets are 1-1, and then the Rockets and Warriors are both 0-1. So that's going to be a hard one there. You got KD, you got Jokic. Blazers are playing out their minds. Wembanyama and the Warriors. Yeah. In the East, the Raptors are 2-0, leading their division or leading their group. The Pistons are 1-0, young, up and coming Pistons. Cade Cunningham and them boys. And then Group C is being led by the Miami Heat and the Bucks, who are both 1-0. I tell you, this NBA Cup is interesting to me. Like, not just because the players get paid money for whoever wins, but in general because it does give something interesting to watch while you're in season. Something that soccer had right when they had tournaments mid-season that would take place. Like that's the way to go. Let's see. So getting off there, but getting to the Lakers and off the NBA Cup, the Lakers are looking pretty good this season overall. In general, I want to say they're like 6-3 or something like that. Hold on, let me check their record. There we go. Lakers currently are. There they are, 7-3, and LeBron ain't played a game. Some would say this means that the Lakers for sure are going to be like conference finals, NBA finals, potential contenders. I say pump the brakes. LeBron may come back and buck up the groove on everything. I'm not saying he will on purpose. I'm saying when he comes back, trying to fit him in and making sure he gets his touches, so on and so forth. Unless he's willing to take more of a backseat role, not necessarily a role player, but a backseat role in how he carries himself on the court. I think that the Lakers may look to take a step, may end up taking a step back once LeBron hits the floor in the next couple of weeks. But he has been cleared for some basketball duties and is expected to be wrapped up almost to game um, ready within the next 1 or 2 weeks. So we're looking at late November, early December. He'll probably have missed about 20 something games, so he'll play his average 60, 63 or so. And I'll be the first to say it. I don't know if I'm buying this whole thing with the sciatica. We'll see though. Let's see. Also, something I want to talk to y'all about was the Nuggets. Looking real good right now with Jokic looking great. Like triple doubles, Jokic getting like 30 point, 15 rebound triple doubles and looking like a beast. And I watched them play against the Warriors in the NBA Cup game, and the Warriors lost by 25. And man, the boys can play. When they're all clicking on all cylinders, you watch out for the Nuggets. They are a championship level team roster. So like the Nuggets are looking amazing with Jokic. If they keep up going the way they're going, I believe that they will come extremely close. We could see them in the conference finals. I think the NBA Western Conference playoffs is about to be a murderer's row, no matter what team you are, no matter where you're at. And think about it like this: the Blazers sucked last year. This year they're 5-4. They're actually sitting a half game above the Warriors right now. They are a good squad. In general, they are a good squad. They've beaten, I believe, the Lakers. I believe they've beaten the Warriors. Like, watch out for Portland. But before we close out, we're going to go to one more topic, and that's various other sports topics. So here's the time I'm going to mention that the tragic death of Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Nealon. The legal troubles of former NFL star Antonio Brown are among some of the biggest stories. But Nealon's death, Nealon died at age 24 in apparent suicide after a police chase in Dallas suburb. The incident has sparked discussions about mental health resources in the NFL. Yeah, not just because of CTE, but just because, like, when you play in such a violent sport where you're angry all the time, that's got to mess with you. That's got to mess with you mentally. And so, like, I'm not saying that has anything to do with what happened with old Mr. Nealon. And prayers out to his family. Like, that's just a tough thing to be going through. But wow. Another young, like 24 years old. Literally half my age. A couple of weeks, I'm about to be 48. The kid was half my age. If we don't start taking mental health seriously, like, this is a road we're going to be 100 miles down and not be able to turn back. Then you got good old Antonio Brown providing us with some relief. Yeah. Former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown was arrested in Dubai and is awaiting extradition to the U.S. to face an attempted murder charge in Miami. I said this before a long, long time ago on one of these shows, either on Double K's Classroom or on West Coast Bias or early episodes of Classroom. Antonio Brown, what the fuck is going on in your head, dude? Like, you had the potential of having, like, an amazing NFL career. And you just talked yourself right out of that, didn't you? And now you have a chance with the money that you made from the NFL, just kind of live your life and go do whatever. And you got yourself caught up in some murder plot shit. Sometimes having a lot of money is a good thing. Sometimes having a lot of money and time is not. All right. Now, the trade deadline was this week as well, November 4th, 1 p.m. The Colts acquired cornerback Sauce Gardner, which is huge. And the Cowboys, they won this morning on Jonathan Taylor going for 244 and 3 touchdowns. Who saw that coming? But they got Sauce Gardner for the defense. The Cowboys traded for defensive tackle Quentin Williams. There was just a lot of moves that were made. And like I said, my 49ers stood pat, but still, there was nobody, not even Williams. I think Williams went for like a 3rd and 4th round pick. He didn't give that up. I'm sad. But that will do it for me for tonight, y'all. I appreciate those who tapped in and checked me out. Let me get to the answer for the sports question quiz. Our sports quiz question: in the 06 NBA Finals, Dwayne Wade averaged 34.7 points per game and was the Finals MVP. Who was the only other Miami Heat player to average double figures in scoring in that series? And that would be Shaquille O'Neal. He averaged 13.7 points per game against Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki in Dallas at that point. So there you have it. That's our final spot. Again, thank you to everybody tapped in YouTube or Twitch. And I will see you guys on next on maybe tomorrow morning for a No Man's Sky stream, or at the latest Tuesday morning for a stream of College Football 25. I am Dark Lord 100, aka Double K. This has been The Classroom. We out.